So if dollar is selected, it will be dollars. If $1,000 is selected, it will say unit $1,000. Whereas if I select $1,000,000, it will say $1,000,000. If I don't select anything, it will say please choose a unit. Hello everyone, my name is Ashish, and as we have started a DAX series called Learn DAX through problem solving, and this is the second video of that series. So let's start the journey of learning DAX through solving problems, and let's move ahead to our second problem. Let's go to the second exercise. Here we have our second exercise. Let's download the question file from here. Open it and let's extract the file. So let's open the PBIX. So let's read the question. Open the Power BI file in the above folder. You should see this table. Okay, let's see the Power BI file, and here we have this table where we have certificate, budget dollars, box office dollars, and profit. Average of budget dollars, average of this, and average of profit, but we are not seeing the average. Might be there is a little mistake. So let's do the average by ourselves. Right click and do average. Okay, now we have the question. So open the Power BI file in the above folder. You should see this table. Yes, we can see the table. Now use the following menu option to import the units worksheet from the above folder. So there is a Excel table. So let's import that Excel table into our Power BI. Import this units table. So this is our unit table where we have dollars, $1,000, $1,000,000, and $1,000,000. This is fine. Let's go back to the question. So it says now create a slicer allowing you to choose which unit you want to use. Okay, so you will have to create a slicer for this units and use the HASONEVALUE function. This is one of the DAX function to create three measures showing the average box office takings, budget, and profit for the units chosen. Okay, so it wants us to create three measures, one for budget and one for box office and the other one for average profit. Create a slicer in this format where if you choose $1,000,000, this number should be shown in millions. If I click $1,000, this number should be in thousands, and if I click on billion, it should be the amount should be in $1 billion. Let's read this. Here we have chosen $1,000,000 as our unit, so all of the figures are divided by 1 million. If you don't choose a unit in your slicer, your measure should return all blank since you don't know what divisor to use. Okay, got it. Let's do this. So go to Power BI. Let's add a slicer, add visual. Let's add a slicer and let's add units column from here and make it a slicer. And go to format. Here we will choose slicer settings as tile. It is okay now. Let's turn off the slicer header and align this in this format. Okay. When we select this $1,000,000, it should be the dollars should be in millions. And if I click on $1,000, it should show me the values in thousands dollars. If I click on $1 billion, it should show me the $1 billion. Let's copy this table so that we can compare and create three new measures. First of all, let's sort this slicer. So let's sort this unit column by divisor. If I sort this unit column by divisor, this will be sorted in the ascending order. So we want dollars to be in the first place, and then thousands, and then millions, and then $1 billion. So go to data. I want to sort this unit, sort by column by divisor, and it is sorted. Now go to view. You can see that dollar is in the first, and then thousands, and then millions, and then $1 billion. This looks good. This looks good. Now let's create three measures. Go to new measure. Let's create for budget dollars. And while creating the measure, we will have use the HASONEVALUE function as well. So let's create a variable, name it as logic. We will use switch function, switch, and there is a function called SELECTEDVALUE. So if the selected value of the unit column, that is unit table and unit column, so if this is $1,000, then we need to do divide the average of budget dollars. So let's divide it by 1,000, comma. So we'll have to write a similar logic for $1 million and $1 billion. So let's copy this and name it as $1 million, and this one as $1 billion. In million we will divide by 6 zeros, and in billion we will divide by 3, 1, 2, 3, divide by 9 zeros. In the else place we will give the average of the budget dollars. Copy and paste. Close the bracket of average dollar and close the bracket of switch logic. Now let's create a variable for HASONEVALUE check. So HASONEVALUE check. We'll write if HASONEVALUE and pass the unit column here, which means if only one unit is selected, like 1,000, then it will return this logic. Else, if multiple values are selected, it will return blank. And if nothing is selected, also return blank. So HASONEVALUE of unit is true, then it will return this logic which we have written, and else it will return blank. Close the bracket and return the HASONEVALUE check. Our first measure is ready. So let's copy paste to create the other two measures. So this measure will be for box office dollars. So in place of budget dollars, we will replace it to box office dollars. So there is a shortcut to do that. You can click Control Shift and L, and it will select all the budget dollars. Now you can replace it to the box office dollars. So let's type box office. So it has been replaced by the box office dollars. So our box office dollars is also ready. So copy and save this measure and create one more measure for profit. Control Shift and L, and it will select all the box office dollars. Let's now name it as profit. So our 3 of the measures is ready. Now let's add the 3 measures here instead of these columns. Let's add. So these are ready. Now if I delete this table and add it here, you can see if I click on millions, these are the values in millions. If I click on $1,000, these are the values in $1,000, and if I click on dollars, it will show me the original average values. This was the ask of the question. Now let's go back to the question and say this still got time. Add a measure for title to show different titles according to whether or not you have chosen a unit. So we'll have to add a card. So let's create a card for the same. If HASONEVALUE unit, then we should say unit and concatenate it with selected value of unit. Else it will say please choose a unit. Okay, so it's done. Let's add this measure in a card. Right click, add visual, add a card. Where is that measure? Selected val. Okay. Yeah. So if dollar is selected, it will be dollars. If $1,000 is selected, it will say unit $1,000. Whereas if I select $1,000,000, it will say $1,000,000. If I don't select anything, it will say please choose a unit. So that was it for this video. This was exercise number 2. Next we are coming with the exercise number 3. I hope this video was valuable for you and you have learned something from this.